Hi, Sarah here with a layout process video for you today. This one is for the Crafty Ribbons design team. If you want to check out Crafty Ribbons, then I will of course be linking below the ribbons that I used today, as well as the Facebook page where you can go and check out what everyone is up to over there. You can enter competition. I'll also link the blog as well. Along with the Crafty Ribbons, I will also be using a Thompsons Craft Supply mixed media kit. This one is an older one that's no longer available as I'm just using up my stash, but I will link the shop anyway, so you can go and check out her things over there as well. So to begin with, I'm just laying down some mixed media. I want to add a nice aquary nautical splish splashy background here, so I'm just using some plastic packaging, some distress oxide inks, and then smooshing them down using some water to help spread them around. I also use a little bit of water on a paintbrush just to move the ink around a little where I think it's a little bit too intense and it's not spread out enough, and yeah, I just keep adding that until I'm happy with that. I do then let that dry before adding some Lindy's Stamp Gang in Tibetan Teal, I think it's called, this one, and it has a little bit of a shimmer to it. You'll see that in the close-ups right at the end. And this time I'm using it's a guide for stamping this acrylic piece here. I mean, you could just use plastic packaging again, but I just decided to use that because it was handy. And I've also added some splashes of the same ink, but it's quite intense, so I did spray on top of that. That pink bottle is just a repurposed hair bottle that I've used to add water in. I'm now choosing some seam bindings. These are all from Crafty Ribbons. There's so many to choose from. They're really lovely, and I think you get, I think it's 5 meters for £1, so it's really good as well. And now I'm just laying down some adhesive. This is just using my ATG gun, so it's just some tape. I will not leave it as is because I did find after a while that the ribbon does come back up again because it doesn't stick so well to this. So what I do afterwards is just run it through my sewing machine. I'm in no way a sewer, I'm really bad at it, but I just like the texture that you get from this, and of course it does secure down the ribbon. At the same time, I do give you a little bit of a look at that after. So after I've just ruffled this down, secured it on the back with bits of tape and washi, make sure it doesn't move, I do then run it through my sewing machine. So now this is all stitched down and secured at the back, I'm going to work on my layers behind my photograph. I want to use lots of texture, so I've taken this Hessian, I think it's called Hessian, and I'm just going to add that as my mat behind my photo, and then I'm just going to add lots of other textures and papers. Behind this I'm using a bit of gauze or cheesecloth, depending what you call it, and in order to secure this down I'm using 3D gloss gel because tape would not do this at all. It would just come straight back up, but this gel works really well. It's really good at binding heavier products together when you're using more mixed media. So I'm also adding a thinner layer this time because this is just going onto paper, and then obviously from the paper to other papers I can just use my normal tape gun again. And I'm not being too accurate with my paper layers, I'm just trimming them by hand. I'm not measuring or anything like that. Just want to create lots of texture and interest and a few different colours behind my photo, which is off my little boy on a boat when we're on holiday. I think this one's my final layer. I have added some foam tape behind this one instead, just so I could get it lifting off the page a little more. And I think, yep, now I'm going to add that to my layout. I'm just adding some of this netting behind there to add to the nautical theme, as I have penciled down I did pencil down lines to make the wave shape on the seam binding that's ruffled behind it all. And trusty 3D gloss gel again, just to make sure that my photo cluster secures to the ribbon and the netting and it all bind together nicely. I had this Good Vibes piece here. I'd painted the bottom green. I decided to add blue to the top and add that onto my layout because I thought it worked really well with the colours. But I wanted it to pop off the page a little more, and so I'm adding these oars with some phone tape. And then I will add the title on top of them so it'll be secured to the oars rather than trying to get it to stick to the ribbon. I also added this little cute little ephemera piece there that's just some waves, and adding that down as well just with some liquid glue. I've also adding a few embellishments, some ephemera pieces and some paper flowers, and this wheel here as well, and a couple more flowers, a few resin flowers as well. And then I think I am pretty much done now. Oh, this is where I add my other ribbon from Crafty Ribbons. I'm using this really cute ombre ribbon that worked so well with the colours I'm using today. I add a little bow on one of the oars, and then I add just a little flag shape sticking out the side here with a flower on top, and then just one or two little gems dotted around the place finishes it off. And that is my layout complete. Thanks for joining me today. Please do like and subscribe if you would like to see more from me, and do check out Crafty Ribbons. Have a great day and stay tuned for some close-ups at the end. Bye bye.